Me, 24, psychology major with minor in gender studies. President of Campus Women's Empowerment Group. Constantly posting about how men have given up on romance. Men just don't try anymore. Where did all the gentlemen go? Modern men are low effort. Get hundreds of likes every time I post about male laziness and dating. Always believed romance died because men stopped putting in effort. They don't plan thoughtful dates. Don't bring flowers. Don't write love letters. Just want hookups and Netflix dates. Blame dating apps for making men lazy. Swipe culture destroyed courtship. Men have too many options, so they don't value anyone. Feel morally superior about it constantly. Tuesday night, debate with guy friend Ryan about dating culture. He's complaining that women don't appreciate effort anymore. Says he's tried romantic gestures, and they backfire. Roll my eyes. Tell him men always think the bare minimum is effort. Probably just bought gas station flowers and called it romantic. He pulls out phone. Shows me screenshots of elaborate first date he planned last month. Researched her interests. Found art gallery showing her favorite artist. Made reservations at restaurant that matched her dietary restrictions. Brought flowers that matched her profile colors. She ghosted him after the date. Told her friends he was trying too hard and gave her the ick. Feel defensive. Tell him maybe she wasn't right for him. Right woman would appreciate effort. He shows me more examples. Friend who wrote personalized poetry for girl he was dating. She posted it online to mock how cringe it was. Another friend who planned surprise picnic with her favorite foods. She complained he was love bombing her. Third friend who remembered details from conversations and brought up shared interests. Got called intense and blocked. Start feeling uncomfortable. These sound like thoughtful gestures to me. Ask Ryan what women do want then. He laughs bitterly. Says that's the problem. Nobody knows. Everything is either too much or too little. Wednesday, can't stop thinking about conversation. Decide to investigate. Ask my group chat what romantic gestures they actually want from men. Sarah, just be yourself. Don't try so hard. Mia, surprise me, but nothing too extra. Jess, put in effort, but don't make it weird. Emma, be romantic, but not like movies. These answers mean nothing. They're contradictory and vague. Ask for specific examples of good romantic gestures they've received. Crickets. Nobody has examples. Ask for bad ones they've experienced. Flood of responses. He brought me flowers on first date. So desperate. Planned elaborate dinner. Too much pressure. Wrote me long text. Clingy vibes. Remembered my favorite book. Trying too hard. Start seeing pattern. Every romantic gesture gets labeled as desperate, clingy, or trying too hard. Thursday, decide to test this. Going to attempt romantic gestures myself. See how hard it actually is to get them right. Download dating apps with clear intention. Going to be the romantic, thoughtful person I claim men should be. Match with guy named Alex. Seems sweet. Works as teacher. Likes hiking and cooking. Plan what I think is perfect first date. Research his interests. Find compromise between my preferences and his. Suggest meeting at bookstore cafe that connects to his love of reading. Then walking through botanical garden for his outdoor interest. Even offer to pay since I did the planning. His response. That sounds really nice, but maybe just coffee first? I don't want to pressure you with big date if we don't click. Feel confused. This is exactly the kind of thoughtful planning I said men should do. He's calling it pressure. Scale back. Suggest simple coffee date. Day of date. Bring small succulent plant because he mentioned liking gardening. Thoughtful gift that shows I listened, nothing excessive. His face when I give it. Awkward smile. Says thanks but seems uncomfortable. Conversation feels stilted after that. Later find out through mutual friend he thought gift was a lot for first date. Feel frustrated. It's a $3 plant. How is that too much? Friday, try different approach. Match with guy named David. Be more casual, less planned. Suggest we just see where the day takes us and meet at farmer's market. Figure spontaneous adventure is what guys want. He seems confused about logistics. Asks what time, where exactly to meet, how long I'm thinking. Wants to plan properly. Realize spontaneity requires more communication, not less. End up spending hours texting about details. Day of date. He brings coffee for both of us and has researched market vendors. Clearly put thought into making day nice. Feel guilty that he planned more than I did after I suggested being spontaneous. Saturday. Try being more direct about attraction. Match with guy named Mike. Compliment his photos. Tell him I find him attractive. Suggest drinks at nice bar. He seems flattered but also nervous. Keeps asking if I'm sure. Seems worried about intentions. Realize being forward as woman feels empowering, but makes men uncertain about expectations. Date goes well, but he's clearly overthinking everything. Asks multiple times if I'm having fun. Seems stressed about impressing me. Sunday, exhausted from 3 dates that felt like walking through minefield. Every approach has different problems. Thoughtful planning is pressure. Spontaneity is unclear. Being direct creates anxiety. Start understanding what Ryan meant about not knowing what women want. Monday, debrief with Ryan. Tell him about date experiments. He nods knowingly. Says this is exactly what guys deal with constantly. No matter what you do, someone finds it problematic. Ask him how he deals with the uncertainty. Says most guys just give up trying to be romantic. Stick to basic coffee dates and let women set the pace. Safer to be boring than risk being too much. Feel sad hearing this. We've trained men out of romance by making every gesture potentially wrong. Tuesday, post on Instagram about dating struggles without mentioning gender experiment. Trying to plan thoughtful dates is harder than expected. How do you balance effort with not coming on too strong? Comments reveal something interesting. Women sharing stories about men who tried too hard. Men sharing stories about having their efforts rejected. Everyone seems confused about romance rules. Wednesday, match with guy named Josh. Decide to ask him directly what kind of date he'd like. His response, whatever you want is fine. I don't want to suggest anything you might not like. Push him to express actual preference. He finally admits he'd love to cook dinner together at his place, but assumes women would find that weird. Ask why he thinks that. Says his last girlfriend told him suggesting home dates meant he only wanted sex. Now he only suggests public places even when he'd prefer something more intimate and personal. Feel another piece clicking. Men aren't naturally unromantic. They've been trained to avoid romantic gestures that might be misinterpreted. We do cook dinner together. It's lovely, thoughtful, creative. Exactly the kind of date I always said men should plan. He's relieved when I enjoy it. Says most women prefer dinner out because home cooking seems low effort. But it took 3 hours and genuine skill. Way more effort than restaurant reservation. Thursday, having revelation about effort and perception. Men's efforts are invisible because they're either rejected or reframed as inadequate. Guy plans elaborate date. Trying too hard. Guy suggests simple date. Low effort. Guy pays for dinner. Traditional and problematic. Guy splits bill. Cheap and unromantic. Guy texts frequently. Clingy. Guy gives space. Not interested. There's no winning move. Every choice gets criticized. Friday, think back to my own dating history. Remember guys I called low effort. Kevin, who suggested hiking date. I said he was cheap, but he researched trails, packed snacks, planned whole day activity. James, who wanted to cook for me. I said he was trying to get me alone, but he offered to make my favorite meal from scratch. Marcus, who brought small gift on second date. I said he was love bombing, but it was booked by author I mentioned liking. Realize I was seeing effort and calling it manipulation or inadequacy. Weekend, deep research mode. Look up data on dating expectations and effort. Studies show women rate men's romantic gestures more negatively than men rate women's. Same gesture gets different reception based on gender. Find forums where men discuss romance. Common theme. Gave up on grand gestures because they always backfire. One post. Brought flowers on first date. She said it was presumptuous. Didn't bring gift on next first date. She said I wasn't making effort. Can't win. Another. Planned surprise weekend getaway for anniversary. She said it was controlling because I didn't ask her first. Now I run all surprises by her, which defeats the purpose. Start seeing pattern. Men try, get negative feedback, adjust behavior, get criticized for not trying. Monday, conversation with female coworkers about romance. Ask what they consider romantic. All give vague answers. Thoughtfulness. Effort. Something personal. Ask for specific examples of romance they've received and liked. Silence. Then stories about rom-com scenarios that haven't happened to them. Ask about real romantic gestures from partners. Stories about things their boyfriends do that they don't consider romantic. He makes coffee every morning, but that's just routine. He remembers my schedule, but that's basic. He plans our date nights, but I have to give him ideas. Realize they're receiving romantic gestures and not recognizing them because they're not dramatic enough. Tuesday, experiment with appreciation. Go on date with guy from previous week. Pay attention to small efforts he makes. He texts to confirm plans and ask about parking. Shows up 5 minutes early. Brings umbrella in case of rain. Suggests backup indoor activity when original plan might be too cold. Walks on street side of sidewalk. Pays attention to my comfort level throughout date. Dozens of small considerations I would normally ignore. When I point out how thoughtful he's being, he seems surprised. Says he wasn't trying to be romantic, just considerate. But consideration is romance. Daily attentiveness is love language. Wednesday, post about recognizing everyday romance. Get mixed responses. Women saying their partners don't do romantic things, but then describing partners who remember preferences, plan activities, show daily care. Men commenting that their efforts go unnoticed. Small gestures get dismissed as what you're supposed to do. Start understanding disconnect. Women want grand gestures, men offer consistent care. Neither side recognizes the other's love language. Thursday, talk to Ryan again. Ask if men have stopped trying or if their efforts aren't being seen. He thinks about it. Says combination of both. Men try different things than what women expect. Then get discouraged when efforts aren't appreciated. Eventually stop trying as much. Meanwhile, women interpret decreased effort as men not caring, without recognizing they contributed to the decrease. Cycle of miscommunication and declining romance. Friday, realize I've been part of the problem. Complaining men don't try while dismissing their actual attempts. Demanding romance while criticizing every romantic gesture as problematic. Wanting effort while calling effort desperate or manipulative. Created impossible standards, then blamed men for not meeting them. Saturday, decide to change approach. Instead of criticizing male effort, start recognizing it. Guy brings flowers. Appreciate thoughtfulness instead of questioning timing. Guy plans date. Thank him for effort instead of suggesting improvements. Guy pays for dinner. Acknowledge gesture instead of insisting on splitting. Guy texts consistently. Enjoy attention instead of calling it clingy. Results are immediate. Men seem more relaxed, more willing to be romantic, more confident in their efforts. Sunday, month reflection on dating experiment. Men haven't stopped trying. We've stopped recognizing their efforts as valid. Romance isn't dead. We killed it by making every gesture a potential mistake. The low-effort men I criticized were often making efforts I couldn't see or chose not to value. My standards weren't high. They were contradictory. Real romance requires appreciating someone's attempt to show care. even if it's not perfect. Monday, post final thoughts on social media. Maybe men haven't stopped trying. Maybe we've stopped appreciating. Get pushback from feminist friends, but also messages from women recognizing this pattern in their own relationships. Men commenting with relief that someone sees their efforts. Couples saying this perspective help them appreciate each other more. Tuesday, Ryan texts me. Says he's planning romantic date for woman he's been seeing. First time in months he's tried elaborate gesture. Asks for advice on flowers. Feel honored he trusts me with romance planning after being critic of male effort. Help him choose flowers based on her personality rather than generic roses. Week later, he reports she loved them. Date went perfectly. She appreciated thoughtfulness. Feel proud of both of them. Wednesday, final realization. Romance is collaborative effort. Men need encouragement to try. Women need to recognize trying. Both sides want connection. Both sides have been doing it wrong. Maybe instead of complaining about what men don't do, I should appreciate what they do. Maybe instead of demanding perfection, I should acknowledge effort. Maybe romance isn't dead. Maybe it just needs better recognition. Now I try to see the romance in everyday gestures. Guy remembers my coffee order. Friend walks me to my car. Date texts when he gets home safely. All acts of care. All worth appreciating. Still believe we deserve thoughtful partners. But now I also believe in being thoughtful partners ourselves. Turns out effort is contagious. When you appreciate it, you get more of it. Who knew?